I'm going to play a clip in just a minute, but the previous clip before this one was of a woman who was with her child in the grocery store. And because she told the guy, first the guy says to her, where's the cocoa? She says, I don't know. You'd have to go to the front and ask somebody. But he taps her on the shoulder. And she goes, hello? Yes? Politely. And he said, do you know where the cocoa is? And she says, no, I'm sorry. I don't know where the cocoa is. But you could go ask the front. And then she starts to walk, and he comes back and he grabs her shoulder or something like that. And she proceeds to tell him, don't grab me, because apparently it was offensive to him that she told him no, she doesn't know where the cocoa is. She's got her child in the car, cart, and she's pushing the cart, and she pushes the cart with her child away, right? And he proceeds to come back to her and grab her by the shoulder and kind of flip her around a little bit. And she goes, hey, don't do that. Don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me. And he continues, right? And he's with a group of men. Now, I think I've already told you the situation with my daughter. At the time, my daughter's boyfriend she had and his mom and me and my daughter were at the casino. My daughter was 21. And we were having drinks. And we got in the elevator, and three or four men, I can't even remember. I know for sure three, but it might have been four. We're just sitting there, and we're, communicating with each other, joking and stuff. But the men get on the elevator. This is my personal story. And with my daughter. And one of the guys says, hey, can I get your number? And she says, no. Just like that. And he proceeded to say, fuck you, bitch. You ain't nothing. And I was like, holy shit. So, of course, my daughter at that time, she starts to snap back because he's like, fuck you, bitch, after she just says no, right? So I put my daughter behind me on the elevator, right? And I'm like, and his mom is like, shocked too. My daughter's then boyfriend's mother. And I'm shocked, and it just, we get off the elevator, and these dudes get off the elevator where we're getting off, and they continue to argue with my daughter. And I tell my daughter, get in the car. And they're walking up on her, they're walking up on us, and I'm like, nope. So I'm standing between my daughter and them, and of course I'm telling my daughter, hush, don't say shit to them. Don't, even though you're not in the wrong, please just don't say anything. And I pushed my daughter into the car. And I don't know at that time whether I'm going to have to run these motherfuckers over with my car, because I felt like that's where it was going. And I push her into the car. Her then boyfriend's mother gets in the car. And of course, we didn't drive together, but I drive her down to her car. But I honestly thought I was going to have to run these dudes over. I honestly thought that was what was going to happen. So I get the mother-in-law, or not the mother-in-law because they weren't married, they were just dating. I get the mother of my daughter's boyfriend into her car, and I get my daughter to her car, and we leave. And I call her on the phone the next day, and I said, I really, really need you to go get a concealed weapon. I need you to get your concealed carry license, and I really need you to get your concealed carry and your license. And then my brother, who was a cop at the time, Metro cop, would take her to the shooting range to teach her how to shoot. And so that's how that happened. She got a concealed carry weapon, and so on and so forth. But let me just play this, because we're living in a time where men, well, they've never really respected women. I'm going to be honest with you, because we can take this all the way back to Jesus' days. We can take it back to a lot of different cultures where they didn't respect women, okay? Which is very unfortunate. So Jesus lived in the day of Judaism and the Jews and da-da-da-da-da, and they didn't respect women. And he had to put a line in the sand. Me and Big J were talking about this. Jesus had to put a line in the sand because they wanted to stone Mary Magdalene to death. And Jesus said, "He without sin cast the first stone." And of course, all those men can't cast the first stone because guess what? They all slept with her. They all did. But they wanted to stone her to death for being a prostitute. Okay. Anyways, now I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm just saying that even Tanya TKO just recently made a video where she was in a train station and she was accosted by a man who came up to her, asked her for her phone number, and she says, "Sir, I don't want any problems." And that's all she said. "Sir, I don't want any problems." And all it took for her to say was, "Sir, I don't want any problems," for the man to snap on her, go off on her, call her all kinds of derogatory names, just like what I'm about to play you right here. And she started to walk really, really fast and actually even try to run away from the guy because, it can escalate just that quick. And I know this firsthand watching what happened with my daughter. Okay, let's play this.
What?
Because I don't want to. I don't have to
Because
give you
who
a
are you?
reason. Because I don't want to.
Are you God?
Yes, I am. Because
Which, are you Black God or Black Jesus?
listen, I'm not interested in
Please,
talking to
you
you.
can fuck off.
You came to me. I didn't come to
Yeah,
you.
and you should answer me normally.
And I
That's
said,
respect.
No. I said politely, I'm not interested
In what?
in talking
About what?
to you because
Because
I'm not
of
interested.
what?
Because I don't want to. I don't
Then
have
fuck
to.
off. You can go back to your village.
Okay.
If you stay there alone, if you don't want to talk, you see?
Okay.
Don't behave like a motherfucking villager
Okay.
with your bombo class shoes.
Okay.
Are you flying? Are you a parachute or what?
Man.
Damn, nigga. Don't try to talk somebody inside say I'm not interested. You're not interested. Are you God? Fuck off, nigga, bitch. You kidding me? You ugly, man. You're not
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
You think because of an iPhone 13 you are so cute?
Yeah.
Are you Miss are you Miss USA? Are you Doechi? That's anxiety, man. You got anxiety problems. You feel me? Try to listen to some good music. Feel me? Hey, listen to some good music.
I'm not interested.
In what?
Please go.
Please.
No, I'm not joking.
Hey, calm
Please
down.
go. Okay?
Calm down and listen to some good music. You understand?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
So this woman didn't even have to say a word to him other than she is not interested. And do you see how he went off on her? So I think, and I don't even have to really say this anymore to women because I think they're very caught up. Majority of women know the signs, a lot of the signs when it comes to a defective, mentally unstable man. And so all this woman had to say was, "I'm not interested." And do you see how we went off on her? And when these men ask, why won't women smile at them or talk to them or even say hello? Because even a hello will get your ass in trouble. This woman was eating lunch on her computer or on her phone, minding her business. The guy walks up and he starts to interrogate her and to accost her, verbally accost her. You hear this, right? And it can go even further. Like it has gone even further. We are living in a time where we have I got to reiterate this. We live in a time where a president has ties with child pornography, people, and all these different things, and also has been convicted of rape, and he still became president. It's not sending the message to men that, you have to act right. It's not sending the message that, there is we live in a civil structure and you have to come civilly, respectfully to people for them to want to communicate with you. But that's not the message that we're sending. Let me see here. I want to pull this back so you can hear what happens to this woman. Hold on.
Just rejected a guy in Kroger, and the security guard had to escort me outside for safety to my car. Story time. Real story. That just happened just now. I'm literally shaking. So if my word is mumbling, that's because I'm still trying to process what just happened to me. So I simply went to Kroger, minding my business, to go get some fruits and some veggies to prep my meal for me and my kids. And I noticed that there were two guys around just lurking. They really wasn't doing anything, but because I had my baby, my focus immediately start paying attention to their asses. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to be judging people. They might just be doing their own thing, but I'm still going to keep an eye. It is sad that we have to do this as women, but again, your intuition is never wrong. So don't ignore it when you feel like something is up. So while I was minding my business, picking up my fruits and stuff with my baby in the cart, one of the guys just kept passing my cart. And I was like, okay, this is weird, but he was picking up some bananas. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're fucking shopping. That's what I'm thinking.
I just want to say something. And a lot of women don't realize that a lot of times when these men approach you, they're not approaching you for you. They're approaching you for your children. So know that.
So as I left the fruit aisle to go pick up some...
Shit.
This is me now at 46, healed my 8 years of back pain after having kids, became a contortionist.
Thinking. So as I left the fruit aisle to go pick up some yogurt, one of the guys pat me on my shoulder and I turned around. And, well, I didn't know it was one of them, but when they pat me on my shoulder, I turned around and I noticed it was him. And I said, hi. And he said, hi. And he proceeded to ask me, where is the cocoa in the store? And I said, I don't know where is the cocoa. I don't know. And I was like, maybe you can ask somebody in the front. And he was like, so can I have your number? And I said, no, I'm sorry. You cannot have my number. And I started pushing my cart. And you know when somebody pulled your shoulder, like, okay, you need to come back. I'm not done talking to you. That's exactly what he did. So I said, excuse me, you don't touch me like that. You don't do that shit. Like, that is very disrespectful. Don't touch me. So I immediately just forget about the yogurt and everything, and I start pushing the cart towards the register. He proceeded to follow me to the register, like close to the register, and I was like, dude, what do you want? And he was like, I'm just asking you for your number. So the other guy I saw coming towards us. And I was like, okay, this is not looking good. Let me just leave this shit inside of the grocery store and head to where the security guard is. So I told the security guard what was going on, and he was like, okay, I will escort you out in a minute. Just stay right here. So he walked up to the guys, and he was like, I don't know what he asked them, but they started laughing. And it was like, look at this mother effing clown trying to question me. That's exactly what they said to the guy, the security. So the security was like, okay, let me escort you out. And he was like, do you want any grocery? I said, no, I don't want any grocery because I just want to go home with my kid because I have my baby. So while he was taking me to my car, the guys, they walked out the store as well, and they started yelling at the security guard. They started calling out his name, and he was like, don't pay attention to them, because if they come at me, I will be able to protect you and your kid. And I'm so grateful for that security, because he didn't have to, but he did. I ended up being in the car safely, and I pulled off and I drove around a little bit before I had come straight home, because I didn't want nobody to be following me, because I don't know if they was following me or not. But my thing is, why is it so hard for men to take rejection? When a woman says no, why is it so hard for you to respect that shit?
It's going to get harder for them to take rejection now because they're rolling back laws for protection for women. They have rolled back a lot of things concerning women, and like self-autonomy topics and Roe v. Wade and healthcare and all these different things. I just want to let women know that this is where we're at, and it might not be a time when you can be in a grocery store where a security guard can walk you out, even if they can protect you. I'm just saying that you having self-autonomy need to protect yourself. So you may not get that chance of having a security guard step in, and let's just say there's more than for sure there was at least two guys, right? So what if they stomp the security guard down and then they come after you? So no, you have to have protection. You have to have protection, because there's no guarantee there's going to be a man or even women to come and help you. Hold on one second. To come and help you, because Tanya TKO had a lady that when she saw what the man was doing when he was chasing her, through the train station. The woman like went full blown yelling, screaming at the guy, and the guy, did leave. Another woman did, a white woman, she said, did that for her, and but that's not always the case. Okay, that's not always the case that there's going to be somebody to defend you out there, and it's scary, and it's unfortunate that we live in a society where a woman pushing her shopping cart through the grocery store can't even shop out of fear for her life and her child's life. And then the other woman just sitting there at a restaurant, an open restaurant, minding her business, and having to go through that. And these men don't have good intentions for you, as you can plainly see. The one came up after she turned him down, and he called her all kinds of N bitches and all these different things he said to her, and she was just minding her own goddamn business. Let me see. Let's play some more. Let me see here.
You feel like you have access to all women anytime a man approaches.
If they feel rejected him out.
Afraid that they would come and attack me again. I was discharged and that was it. There was no talks of therapy, there was no counselling, there was nothing. Like, the police did fuck all. There was no update. They never said, oh yeah, we found the boys. Obviously I knew who they were, but nothing was done. Throughout my life, I've always struggled in social situations. Whenever I see a group of boys, it doesn't matter what race, like whenever I see people huddled together, not so much now, but during my teens, like, I really struggled. I was so afraid, and I now realize that I had PTSD. And I was young. I was a child, and that happened to me, So it just goes to show that it can happen to anyone. It can happen to any woman, any girl, any teenager, and it's terrifying. I should be able to reject you or say no without a consequence. And I've noticed that these type of videos attract, the TikTok incel community, the men that like to victim blame. And I just want to say, if you're going to come into my comments with that sort of energy, how are you going to blame an 11-year-old for this? Please, let me know. But yeah, I just hope more girls are brave enough to speak about these situations, because it's very important to bring awareness to it, because so many of us go through it and not enough is done to protect us. Nobody deserves to go through this, and it can honestly traumatize you for a lifetime.
Men have a habit of punishing you if they feel rejected by you. And it's not that you might have even rejected him outright, you might just not be interested, and he's taking it personally. He will do nonsense like this, like pretending to forget your name as an act of like, you're not that important anyway. When a guy feels rejected, like, it's never anything positive that comes after it. It's usually like just bitterness, resentment, and he'll just try and punish you. Like, and I think sometimes in their heads, they honestly, like, they set themselves up for rejection, because you'll just be like living life, and they'll create a scenario in their heads. Like, sometimes they'll go out their way to do things for you, and
I just want to say this. We live in a time now, right, that they want to force women to have babies by men like this. So if a man forces on you, they have like made it so that even rape victims in America in certain states can't get abortions from their rapist. Okay, so this anger and this hatred, what's really happening is, I've got to be honest, I know there's enough good men out there that are from the divine creator that don't do these kind of things, right? So they're just waiting on that so-called Christ energy to take control of the earth. And I'm not talking about fake Christians, MAGA fake Christians, and none of that shit. I'm not talking about those religions that fake Christianity and fake believing in that so-called Messiah of the Bible and what that Messiah taught. I'm not talking about those type of people. I'm not talking about fake Christianity. I'm talking about the Christ body, divine men, divinity. The men of God haven't took control of the earth yet. Right now we are going through chaos. We have when you talk about toxic masculinity is all of these men, these women are speaking of right now. Toxic masculinity doesn't allow women to be women. Toxic masculinity is fearful of women taking power and possession over their own bodies. So when women are talking about toxic masculinity, we're not talking about the divine man at all. We are talking about these type of men, the men that are running the country right now in the United States, the president of the United States, Trump. We are talking about those type of men. Those are the toxic masculinity type of men. I don't even want to say men, males. Let's continue.
Like, oh, he's a really nice guy. And then it's like, actually, no, because when you're not reciprocating, they act out because, one, their ego and pride has been bruised. Like, and I think that's their way of, like regaining control over the situation, is, like, they want to shift that power dynamic because they feel almost like they've lost control a bit. You know, like, if you're not reciprocate, like, they want something from you that you're not willing to give. And if they feel rejected,
it's not about losing control. It's that they want to take control. So anybody that violates another person, they have already said rapists do it, and mass murderers or serial murderers, they do it because that's how they gain power. They have no real power. Powerful men, like I said, divine powerful men don't feel the need to control every aspect of other people or beings. And I'm talking about animals as well, because it goes hand in hand. Abusive men usually abuse animals. They kill animals, they torture animals, and they do all those things because they are out of control. They are so mentally unstable and out of control that they feel power by abusing an animal. It's pretty sickening. It's pretty sickening. But we aren't talking about divine men. Those aren't divine men. Let's continue.
they feel like they're on the back foot, like they're less than somehow. So they try to punish you in order to, like, regain almost like a sense of control, I suppose. And just try.
This is Pod 5, the first fully immersive sleep system. Intelligent.
So they try to punish you in order to, like, regain almost like a sense of control, I suppose. And just try to, like, regain that, like, pride and status that is in
There's
their
no
head,
pride.
because you don't give a shit.
Let me just say this. Men who do that have no pride. A person that has pride, and I'm not talking about haughty pride, I'm talking about genuine pride. Genuine pride comes from within. It doesn't come from taking something from somebody else. There's nothing to boast about or be prideful for. If you're taking or you're putting somebody in fear and subjection, there's nothing to be prideful about that. Pride is if, let's just say you're a builder and you build a home on your own or you with your family, and it's a beautiful creation and it's well done. The craftsmanship is well done. That's a reason to be proud. But there's no reason to be proud abusing another person or subjecting another person and putting them under your false sense of control because you feel powerless.
One is, like, men will try and teach you a lesson. Yeah. Like, because they feel entitled, like you owe them something. So the guy that's doing things for you is not doing it out of the goodness of his heart. It's sometimes because, like, this is like, right, payment.
And it's sad that these women don't know men that are genuinely good men.
Sometimes as well, like,
I mean, to make a general statement because they haven't witnessed men who are actual men.
Like a mirror for their own insecurities. So, like, you might not even have rejected him outright. You might just be not interested and he's taking it personal. But that's like he doesn't feel worthy or good enough already. Like, that seed's already there within him. And then when you sort of, like, don't welcome his advances or whatever, it's like watering already that seed that he has inside, that he's not good enough and he's inferior somehow.
I watched a video of this married woman. She said, if a man approaches me and I'm not with my husband, I would rather give him my number and block him because I want to make it home safely to my husband and
That's
children.
sad.
And a lot of women in the comment section were like, yes, I do this because it's just not safe. Do you know, like, this shit pisses me off that women even have to do this simply because men, grown ass men cannot handle rejection. It is very telling how some of y'all cannot handle the word no. I have a boyfriend doesn't work. I have a girlfriend doesn't work. I'm married. I'm not interested. I'm simply not attracted. Doesn't work. And you could lose your life as a woman because you said no.
It's so crazy because I've heard women say to men who approach them that they have HIV just to get a man off their back. How fucking sad it is to say you have some kind of venereal disease or you have some kind of disease that is life-threatening to get a man off your back. That is psychotically crazy. And then some of them said that even after they said they had HIV, the man still wanted their number. This is some crazy shit. Crazy.
To a man. This how y'all raised y'all sons? I'm sure when a lot of women get approached today, they're not flattered. They're scared. That's sick as fuck. It's so sick how a woman has to do something that she doesn't want to do simply because she wants to make it home safely because you can't control your motherfucking emotions. Simply because you weren't taught how. Your mama never told you no. The women in your family never told you no, simply because you were the boy. So now that you're a grown-ass man and you're living in the world, you feel like you have access to all women anytime, anywhere, any place. And if they say no, you think you have the right to...
Let's restock my fridge with my favorite summer beverage.
Dude.
Sunsip is a gut-healthy soda with prebiotics, vitamins, and minerals.
Place. And if they say no, you think you have the right to unalive them. That's sick.
When a man that you don't know or barely...
I just want to say, and shout out to Kat, but she had a friend named Tiffany who had met a guy and she was dating him for 1 week. And the guy went to her house. She didn't even know that he knew where she lived. And I have a video about this several months ago. And he literally, it was on Christmas, I want to say Christmas Day when it happened, or Christmas Eve. It happened either on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. He went to her house. She asked him why he was there. And she told him he had to leave. She was with her daughter, her 15-year-old daughter. And she told him he had to leave. And he got highly irate and upset. And he proceeded to beat the brakes off of her. And her daughter ran into the closet to hide, and he had went in and got a butcher knife, and he was stabbing her everywhere, and bit chunks of meat out of her face and out of her body. And the daughter came out, thought when it got quiet, and thought he was gone, and Tiffany yelled out and said run to her daughter, and her daughter ran out of the house, was able to run out of the house and go hide in the woods until the police came. And by that time the guy was gone, and da-da-da-da-da. But she lost her life telling him to leave and go away. She lost her life. She didn't even know that he knew where she lived, right? So what's the answer? And this is a woman who had a gun, right? She had a pew-pew, and but it all happened so fast that she didn't even have access, and the fact she wasn't expecting the man to flip the fuck out on her as he pushed his way into the house. I think it was he broke the door down to get in, and he did, and she didn't have the time to go get the gun to protect herself, and wasn't expecting, he had been a total gentleman the whole time that they had dated, apparently, in those 2 weeks, and this is not something she had expected from him. It's very frightening. It's scary.
No, hits you with the line, and that's why you're single, is usually because something that usually works on women didn't work on you, or because you're not responding in the way that he expects you to or wants you to. So a man slides in this woman's DM on a Wednesday. He says, you're a really beautiful woman. I'd love to be able to take you out, show you a good time. So she's like, I'll be sure to let you know when I'm free. The very next day, that Thursday, he hits her up again, and he's like, there's this really great place I'd love to be able to take you. I can get us reservations. I'd love to be able to see you on Friday night. So she's like, I'm sorry, I actually have plans on Friday night. As I said, I'd let you know when I'm free. So that Friday, he hits her up again. And he's like, usually when somebody tells you they'll let you know when they're free, they let you know. So at this point, she's frustrated and she just says, okay. And then she leaves him on red. And he must have got upset about it because the next thing you know, he texts her and he's like, and that's why you're single. And she was like, excuse me? And he's like, because you lied to men. You said that you wanted to see me, but every chance that I tried to make to set up a date, you kept like saying that you couldn't do it and you're busy and all that. And she's like, well, I already had plans and I'm not dropping the plans that I already had just because you came along. Some of these men are having a really hard time coming to grips with the idea that some women are decentering men. He wanted to say that to her and have her say, you know what, if that's how you feel, let me just cancel my plans with my friends and let's go out on Friday night. But she didn't say that. And that's what really bothered him. Not every woman is sitting around and waiting on a man for her life to start. Some women are out here living full and robust lives. They have rich friendships, rich relationships with their family and their friends and all of that. And they don't need a man to come in and save them from their boring life. Now, I wish he didn't even entertain him when he said that's why you're single, because he wanted to be able to feel like he had the upper hand by giving her an answer. You didn't need that answer from him. That man didn't even know you.
Somebody should have asked him, well, why are you single? Why are you single? Because you're highly aggressive while trying to date, and you put off red flags, which makes women not want to go on the first date with you or even to get to know you. So clearly there's a reason why you yourself as a man are single as well. You know what's so scary? What's so scary is that we're living in a society that's taking, rights of women away, and it's getting to the point where even after they were thinking that this abortion ban was going to make women want to have children. Well, even to that story, there was a woman that's been with a man for over 15 years. They aren't married. They have another child and she's pregnant, and she is in, what state is it? I want to say Kentucky, something like that. One of those states. And she could not get health care. The doctors refused to give her health care. The OBGYN refused to give her health care with her unborn child because she was unwed. This is where we're at. This is a woman who has been dedicated to the same man for over 15 years, had already a previous child, and is pregnant again, about to have a baby, and she has to actually move to another state in order to get health care for her prenatal.
Men have to get over killing people because they're getting rejected. Like, men, that can't go on. Like, that is like they said the Idaho murders, he was DMing one of them, and then he didn't get a reply. He kept DMing them months and months, and they never got a reply, and then he murdered them. Then there was this Alabama basketball player
even if you give him a reply,
got into an argument with a girl because she didn't want to give him attention. And
so Tiffany gave the man a reply. She even dated him. She gave him a chance. And in 2 weeks, because it wasn't the right time for him, that she didn't want him around, she was spending Christmas with her daughter and her children, or was going to be spending Christmas Day with her children. He murdered her. So even if you give him a chance, a lot of these men.
He shot her. She's dead now. Like, it's just like senseless. Like, I just don't understand it. It's really disgusting. Like, it kind of makes me mad. Not even kind of, it does make me mad, because it's just like, you're so, like, narcissistic that you can't take rejection. Half the time they be fucking ugly. Ugh.
Or verbally assaulted. Yeah, verbally assaulted because I rejected a guy. Oh my god. So I have to say the area. This happened in Croydon, okay? Croydon. But anyways, this is like a couple years ago when I was working in Croydon, right? So basically, some guy came up to me and I was coming home from a long shift. He came up to me and was like, oh, yo, let me get your snap or whatever he asked me for, yeah? Obviously, I you know what, yeah? Normally when like certain men move to me, I'll like, have a bit of attitude or... This, I swear down this time, I don't know if I was in a good mood, but I was so nice to him. I literally was like to him in the nicest way possible, oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. Because I actually had a boyfriend. My man started shouting in my face. He was like, oh, watch when I see you again. Are you dumb? Watch when I see you and your man. Watch when I see any of you lot in Croydon. Watch, you can't come around here. Guys, I saw my life, I'm not even joking. I'm not even chatting shit. Like, he was actually shouting at me. I'll never forget this day. I remember I called my best friend straight away. I didn't even want to tell my man because I was thinking, like, he's going to get mad. He's going to go look for him. But anyway, he was really like, oh, yeah, watch when I see you. Watch when I see you. If you can ever come Croydon. Or proper cuss me, but I can't say the words because obviously Tito likes to ban me and give me strikes. But yeah, like, he was doing the most. Laughing, yeah. I'm actually laughing at it.
Go dark bag. From when you want to be off the radar, literally. In my use.
I'm actually laughing at it. Maybe because nothing actually like happened to me, but I'm actually laughing at it, but it's not funny. Like, how can you actually say to somebody, I'm sorry, like, you know, I appreciate it, but I got a boyfriend. And they moved that mad. The guy threatened me. Do you know, yeah, I was actually scared to go, like, work the next day after that because I thought I was going to see him again. Every time I tell stories, I'm laughing. But it's actually not funny. Like, imagine that. Like, being a female is scary. Man threatening me because I politely told him I've got a boyfriend. So, what, I'm meant to cheat on my...
And this is the thing. I just watched a video just recently where a woman had called the police for several times that a man had been, it was a white guy, white woman, and he had been peeping Tomming in her daughter's bedroom, right? And so she put up blackout curtains in her daughter's bedroom in the windows so that he couldn't see in. And I think her daughter was like 8 or 9 years old. And the dude kept coming back to try to peep in on her daughter. Now, she had already called the police, made police reports, and da-da-da-da-da. At what point do you have to actually use physical bodily harm against somebody to stop them after you have made police report after police report and nothing is getting done about this guy, right? So this is where we're at. And a lot of times, ladies, you could be stalked and don't even know that there are men stalking you. They're stalking and they're what's the word I'm looking for? When they can get into your when they start hacking stuff. So you don't even know that this is the kind of thing that's happening, but it is happening. So I'm at 37 minutes. What am I? 37. Yeah, 37 minutes. I'm going to stop it right here. Be careful out there because it's going to get rougher and rougher for women. The more they take protections away from women on the books, and we have a president that wants to take protections away because he's a violator. He violates women. He brags about violating women. He brags about, grabbing women by the pussy when they don't ask for it, and that he thinks he can get away with it because in his mind, like any predator, they think that the person has given them consent when they have not. So, be careful out there.